New York has awarded billionaire William Koch $12 million in punitive damages in a dispute over 24 bottles of wine. Koch had accused tech entrepreneur Eric Greenberg of knowingly selling him counterfeit bottles of wine at an auction in 2005. Koch was seeking $320,000, the amount he paid for the 24 bottles. The jury decided he should also get $12 million in punitive damages. 17-year-old Koch says he will use the proceeds to establish a fund to fight auction fraud and McIntyre, NPR News in Washington.
Support for NPR comes from CNN. Anthony Bourdain comes to CNN with a new series, Anthony Bourdain, Parts Unknown, Sunday night, 9 Eastern and Pacific on CNN.
It's 4:34. You're listening to All Things Considered here on Alabama Public Radio. I'm Brian Politz in today for Brian Vasquez. Tonight's forecast looks like clear skies. Saturday evening, mostly after 1 a.m. Mostly clear skies where you're not seeing rain. The low should be around 53 for most of the state. There's 1 degrees as you go down to the Gulf Coast. 67 degrees right now in Muscle Shoals. Huntsville has 64 and 69 in Tuscaloosa. 65 in Birmingham. Summer in Montgomery was like 72 degrees, 73 in Mobile and Pensacola. Biloxi coming in at 74. All Things Considered continues here on Alabama Public Radio. Stay right here.
This is All Things Considered from NPR News. I'm Melissa Block.
And I'm Audie Cornish. Mary Jo White took office this week as the new chairwoman of the Securities and Exchange Commission. The SEC is under pressure. It still hasn't finished its regulations to carry out the Dodd-Frank financial overhaul law, which was signed 3 years ago. Now, nearly 500,000 people are asking the commission to take up something else entirely: mandatory disclosure of the money that corporations spend on politics. NPR's Peter Overby reports.
This story begins with Citizens United, the Supreme Court case from 2010, the one that makes it possible for companies to spend corporate funds on partisan politics. The court explicitly endorsed disclosure of that corporate spending to citizens and shareholders, but no law requires that. After Congress rejected a disclosure bill, some corporate and securities law professors got to thinking.
We thought about the issues and concluded that the case for an SEC rule requiring disclosure is very strong.
Harvard law professor Lucian Bebchuk is one of 10 professors who petitioned the Securities and Exchange Commission to take action. That's something anyone can do. They say investors have a right to know when a corporation puts their money into politics.
We think that lack of transparency in this area is inconsistent with the basic principles of corporate governance and also with the goals of transparency to investors.
Disclosure advocates have been pushing on other fronts, including proxy fights at corporate meetings, and they jumped on the petition. The SEC invites comments on petitions. A coalition of more than 100 liberal groups and institutional investor firms publicized the effort, put sample messages on the web, and generated nearly 500,000 comments so far. It's a record at the commission. Commenters include members of Congress and state finance officers, wealthy investors, and ordinary people.
This is a historic decision-making moment for Mary Jo White.
Lisa Gilbert is director of Public Citizens Congress Watch program and a strategist for the petition drive.
She has the opportunity to set the tone of her new tenure as chair or not.
Among the leading opponents are the National Association of Manufacturers, the Business Roundtable, and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber raised and spent more than $35 million during last year's campaigns. In January, it led a coalition in filing comments against the disclosure petition. Lawyer lobbyist Andrew Pincus helped write the comments. He says the SEC should deal with congressional mandates.
If you look at the agenda, there are a number of things, I think more than a dozen rulemakings from the Dodd-Frank Act and the Jobs Act that are now either overdue or close to overdue and haven't even been started.
It's worth asking how much money corporations actually spend on politics. The nonpartisan Senate